going to ask you all to please stand for the posting of the national colors.
Left, right, left, 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 left. Honor guard, up. Honor guard, about, face. Honor guard, prepare to pose. Pose. Honor guard, right, face. Honor guard, full on, full step, mark, left, left.
Please be seated. Good morning and welcome to all of you. We want to thank the Public Safety Academy Honor Guard, seniors Olivia Riddick, Crystal Reyes, and sophomores Dakota Parker and Courtney York. My name is Sandy Cruz Serrano, and I'm CREC's Chief Operating Officer, and I'm really proud to be here this morning, and I hope you are as excited as I am. Today marks the opening of the CREC Public Safety Academy's Forever Home. It has been a long and arduous road, but we have made it. The Academy is open for business, and isn't it a beautiful place? Absolutely. The students, the staff, and families are thrilled to be here. They have been very patient with us as we looked for the right place to build them their school. Today, we will celebrate this forever home with special guests, dignitaries, families, teachers, administrators, and neighbors. But the real reason for celebrating is our students. They are the ones who make this building a special place. The noise in the hallways, the laughter, the learning and growing are all part of this experience. We hope the students and families will avail themselves of this great facility for years to come. We also hope that the people of Enfield will also enjoy this new resource in their town. We thank you for having us here. And now, I'd like to introduce to you CREC's Executive Director, Dr. Bruce Douglas.
So good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure to have all of you here today. It's a remarkable day. This is a remarkable school. You know, I always said that we will have arrived in school construction when we build a building that looks like the legislative office buildings. We got a little close to it, okay? So if there's any legislators here that are saying, wow, we spent too much money in this building, remember where you work, okay? All right, good, because we someday will build a school like this. It's good to have all of you here today. I just wanted to, I'm the fellow who recognizes everybody, so I'm going to read a list of names and recognize people and say great things about some of you. But first and foremost, I want to recognize our students. Welcome to your new school. I want to recognize their families who've entrusted their education to us. I want to recognize our faculty, which are dedicated, intensely dedicated to your success, and the staff, which is intensely dedicated to your staff. This whole school is about you. Everything here revolves around you. We have high expectations for you, and we hope that you will accomplish those high expectations. I want to recognize a student who's here with us today who was in the first graduating class in 2012, Corey Mosdale. Corey, would you stand up for a second? Where's Corey? So Corey is now a 911 dispatcher, and he attends Manchester Community College. Congratulations, Corey. Thank you so much. I want to recognize members of the General Assembly and Connecticut's congressional delegation. Joe Courtney's representative is here today. Senator Steve Cassano from the Connecticut General Assembly and Representative David Alexander are here today. And also from the town of Enfield, Mayor Scott Copen is here with us today. Thank you so much. I especially want to thank the town of Enfield for inviting us to their community and being so supportive and helpful with us in developing this school. Mayor Copen, thank you so much. And I want you to understand that this is a municipal facility. It's open 24/7, 365 days a year. When our students are not using this school, you are invited to bring senior citizens, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, up to this school to use it as a meeting place also. So thank you so much. I would also like to thank and recognize members of the Public Safety Academy Advisory Board. First of all, I want to recognize Joe Townsley. Joe Townsley couldn't be here with us today. Dr. Townsley is a former superintendent of schools from Simsbury and came to work with us at CREC after he retired from Simsbury. And about 8 years ago, when we were developing magnet schools, he came up with the idea of developing a public safety academy. But at the same time, we had 3 other schools that were ahead of that one, and so we postponed the development of the Public Safety Academy until a couple of years later. Senator Cassano came and said, we really need a Public Safety Academy. We agreed with him, and so along with Joe Townsley and Steve Cassano, the school was born. So I want to recognize Dr. Joe Townsley. I want to recognize Steve Cassano for all of his support and effort into the development of this school. He's been the backbone of our advisory committee. I want to recognize Major Alaric Fox, Chief of Staff, Deputy Commissioner's Office from the Connecticut State Police. I'd like to recognize Captain Patrick O'Hara, who's here with us today. He's the Commandant of the State's Police Academy. Captain O'Hara, just to tell you that this facility is open to the Connecticut State Police Academy as it is open to the town of Enfield, and we hope that you will come up here and use it. I want to recognize Joyce Hall, who's a former Board of Ed member of the Enfield Board of Ed, who helped us develop this school. I want to recognize Catherine McCormick. She is the Director of the Capital Region Medical Reserve Corps. I want to recognize William Trissler, who's from the Connecticut Fire Academy, who's here with us today. And also, Mr. Trissler, if you will please feel free to use this building as you see fit. Okay, we would invite you to come and use this facility to train your troops. I want to recognize Captain Chris Davis on behalf of the Manchester Police Department. Recognize Dr. William Norton, who is a major player in the development of this school. He's the Director of Public Service from the University of New Haven. I want to recognize Adam Piscoro, who's the Director of the Connecticut Fire Academy, and John Quinlavin, who's the manager of the emergency medical services at St. Francis Hospital. He played a major role in the development of this school, as well as Dr. Stephen Wolf, who's the chairperson of the Department of Emergency Medical Services at St. Francis Hospital. I also want to recognize a dear friend of mine and someone I admire very much, Chris Wilson, who is the chair of the CREC Council. Welcome, Chris. I also want to recognize Don Harris. He couldn't be here with us today. He had family business that he had to take care of that was extremely important. Don Harris serves as a CREC Council Vice Chair. And also I'd like to recognize Lori Ungeier, who is the CREC Council representative from the Enfield Board of Ed. Welcome, Lori. And the same, Lori, goes for the Enfield Public Schools as it does for everyone else. The school is available to the Enfield Public Schools when we're not using the school, so please avail yourself of this school. I'd like to recognize Mrs. Mullen, okay? The school is built on the Mullen farm. The Mullen family has been here for a long time. Mrs. Mullen lives just down the road. And we hope that Mrs. Mullen will be a regular visitor to our school. You're welcome here anytime. We want you to come up, help with our reading program. Okay? Help with our math program, help with our Connecticut history program. Right? Mrs. Mullen, thank you so much for being a strong supporter of the school. I also want to recognize Denise Gallucci, who was the superintendent of schools when we came up with the idea of this school. Denise Gallucci had a lot to do with the architectural design of this school. Don Walsh, who's here with us today, he was our CREC's Chief Financial Officer, Deputy Executive Director, now serves as our Site Acquisition Officer. Don Walsh played a major role in the development of this school. Sandy Cruz Serrano, who now serves as the Interim Chief Financial Officer of CREC, played a major role in the development of this school, for she headed up the school construction services for CREC. Marnie Liska, who was the program manager for the major part of the development of this school. Doug Rogers, who is the division director for program management at CREC. And Antonella Di Benedetto, that's a beautiful Italian name, sort of like Patrick O'Hara on the other side. Antonetta, who was a project manager, a woman project manager, who helped develop this school as well. So I want to thank you all so much. Just a couple things I wanted to point out. Why this school was developed. This school was developed because Connecticut was found not fulfilling its responsibilities in a court case called the Sheff v. O'Neill court case. That court case was some 20 years ago. During that 20-year period of time, CREC, and this is not to exalt CREC, but CREC has built or developed 19 schools during that time and developed an open choice program for children from Hartford to attend schools throughout the capital region and also to attend the CREC schools. We have over 10,000, approximately 10,000 kids in our magnet schools and in the open choice program. We transport 13,000 children every day. Okay. That's as far as Sheff has gone. It wasn't just Hartford that the state of Connecticut was not in compliance with, but it was also in Bridgeport that it wasn't in compliance with, and New Haven it wasn't in compliance with, and in Manchester, and in New Britain it wasn't in compliance with. Okay. But we singled this out over this past 20 years of just one city, one region. I don't know if you're aware of it, but we have over 89 school districts represented in the CREC magnet schools. That should be a signal, okay, that there is a need for us to work very hard in Connecticut to close this achievement gap and pay close attention to the poverty gap and pay close attention to the disenfranchisement of some of our ethnic groups in the state of Connecticut. This is not enough. We need to move on. Okay. For what we've done over the past 20 years with regard to the development of these schools, that's a great thing. But the state of Connecticut could have done so much more. Okay. When I was born in the state of Oklahoma, right, I thought everybody in Connecticut was graduated from Yale University. I thought everybody had a white fence and a bunch of horses in the backyard. I thought everybody here was rich. And when I came to Connecticut, I found 169 tribes. We call them towns here. Okay? And these towns were not cooperating together for the best interests of children. This school sends a message that children are important. Everything that we put into the development of this school was, would it send a message and would it help educate children and close this horribly embarrassing achievement gap, unjust achievement gap? Could this school do this? Okay? And the school is in the process of doing it right now. Last year, one of CREC's schools was the #1 school in the state of Connecticut, high school in the state of Connecticut, ranked 15th in the United States. It was the Aerospace and Engineering Academy. The Metropolitan Learning Center, another magnet school, is ranked the 28th best high school in the state of Connecticut. It moved up from 35th and one of the top 400 in the state of in the United States. So we're making progress, but if CREC can do this, all of us can do this. So I really implore you, as we leave here today, to think about what this building represents. It represents the best interests of children and families. It represents the best interest of our communities. Okay? It's a gift. After a house of worship, this should be the symbol of the values of a community. All schools should be that symbol. So I encourage you to be supportive of this school, to be supportive of all of the schools in your community, and to be supportive of all children in the state of Connecticut, whether they live in your town or not. They are all our children. Thank you very much. Now I would like to introduce my friend and someone who I admire very much, Senator Steve Cassano. Steve?
Thank you very much, Bruce. First of all, congratulations to all of you new students and to all the students that are here. I probably have a little different speech. I'm here as a state senator, but 10 years ago I had finished my last term as mayor of Manchester. And I remember vividly a meeting with Bruce and Joe Townsley indicating that we were having tremendous concerns in hiring policemen, qualified policemen. We had situations where students would go, I would say applicants would go through the entire process, and it would get down to the last part of investigation and so on. We had to throw person after person out because of things that really occurred in high school or in young years, violence and so on, that just kept them out. And we agreed that 3 things had to be done. First of all, we needed a summer program, which Bruce was able to get grants for year after year after year to keep those students involved during the summer so we didn't lose them. Second of all, we had tremendous racial imbalance within the police departments. Without this school, we can never achieve that. We will achieve racial imbalance because this school provides the opportunity. And third, we needed people who were interested in law enforcement and willing to become part of it, and that will happen. I can't tell you how many hours I spent with Joe Townsley. We felt that we were going to be the first and the only public school, and Joe spent hours and hours tracking everywhere. He did find a fire academy somewhere in California, but it was not a public safety school as we know it. For you students, I want you to know that the variety of people that helped put this together and working with CREC were incredible. First of all, the City of Enfield has been magnificent. We've been here from the beginning, 3 locations. Town manager, assistant town manager have all been part of the process. We have people from the State Police Academy, state policemen and women serving on the board either now or in the past, retired fire chiefs and police chiefs, fire chiefs from both public and from volunteer and paid departments, Homeland Security, St. Francis Hospital. You can't believe the variety, the Fire Academy, Adam, and what Adam brought for materials and what he brought almost on a weekly basis to each of the schools as they grew. It was just a tremendous thing to see and to develop. When they first laid plans out, it was a dream. We didn't really think it was going to come through. It was too good. The fact is, it's magnificent, and Bruce made it happen. Bruce, I can't thank you enough for this. To all of the staff at CREC, to all of the teachers, the turnover has been incredible. The difficulty of a whole new school in a new direction has been just challenging. The difficulty to meet the requirements on one hand of CREC and to have students academically achieve, while on the other hand trying to train them for law enforcement has been an issue. And we have survived, and we will only get better because now we have the facility to allow that to happen. And our last goal was that when school is closed, this will be available for training. There is no better place in the state of Connecticut for public safety training than this building. And as you go on a tour, you will see that. Every aspect of public safety has been addressed. And so we're extremely proud of this. So it is the only one of its kind in this country. I'm hoping that we will get some kind of a film. I know that we have the Department of Justice. I work closely with them because of SAFECOM and Homeland Security, and they are just looking at this and watching this and getting reports on this on a quarterly basis as we meet, because they never believed it was going to happen. This could be the first of many. There are already cities in the state of Connecticut looking to do the same thing. You students are part of the first. There's nothing better than being first. Thank you to all. Congratulations.
Thank you, Steve. Much appreciated. And you can all understand why good things can happen when we have a General Assembly reflective of someone like Steve Cassano. And now I'd like to introduce another state representative who's played a key role in the development of this school and also the construction of this school, State Representative David Alexander from Enfield.
Thank you, Bruce, in inviting me for the opportunity to speak today. And just as an aside, a very good friend of mine has done a lot of good work with the Innocence Project, and I just want to commend Bruce. The more I get involved in state issues, his commitment to that, and an issue that is outside of the CREC's realm, but shows his commitment to making our state a better place for all and for opportunity for all. So I appreciate that. And I'd like to thank Senator Cassano to coming to my home district here in the 58th and Enfield. And as a new guy and a rookie in the General Assembly trying to learn my way, he's been a good mentor and gone out of his way to help me here and there around the margins, and I really appreciate that and his influence on me. And I'd like to thank Mayor Scott Copen for being here and his commitment to Enfield and his commitment to moving this school forward. I last year volunteered with the Boys and Girls Club and had the opportunity to go to the old CREC school. We had the old Stowe School down the street from here, and I must say I had an opportunity to come in once a week, and I saw the product that CREC delivers for their students, and I was greatly impressed with the work they do. And I think it was good for me to see that and be a part of that. And I look today and see all the children and the students here, and it makes me hope and gives me pride that they're going to have a great opportunity to come to this great facility and to really get a good educational product. It might be rainy outside today, but I feel warmth and sunshine in here for the opportunity that these students are going to have. And like Bruce mentioned, CREC originally came out of the Chef versus O'Neill ruling, and it made me, it's a situation in Connecticut that happens in a lot of states, obviously, with an educational achievement gap. And it makes me proud that I am from Connecticut and work in the General Assembly, because years ago, before I was involved in politics and I was young, our state recognized we had a huge issue. An issue of opportunity disenfranchisement amongst our community, amongst our cities, amongst our suburban communities. And in response to that lawsuit and that legal battle, CREC was formed to provide opportunity. And although sometimes I might have policy issues here and there on education and how we're going ahead to solve this problem with the more educational reform movement, I commend CREC and I commend the state of Connecticut all this time to recognize we do have a problem, and maybe together we can move forward to solving it. And you know, on behalf of all the residents of the 58th District in Enfield, welcome to Enfield. And to be candid, we had a few bumps in the road with the construction of this site, no fault of anyone in particular, and I appreciate CREC's commitment to trying to mitigate that. I appreciate the patience of the residents in dealing with that, and it was not an easy thing for all. And hopefully we can move forward, and maybe mistakes were made, but we can move forward to make everyone feel comfortable. Because I think at the end of the day, everyone who's a resident of Enfield or involved in CREC really wants to do right by these students and give them opportunity. So I hope we can move forward in a positive direction with the community and the students, because it's really about the students and doing right by them. And if we can agree on that, I think we can really get a consensus on moving forward. And I think I'll end on that note when it comes to CREC, an opportunity for students across the state from different backgrounds and different locations to come together for educational opportunities. And I think if we focus on that and focus on that mission statement part of CREC, I think we're really going to move the state of Connecticut forward and prepare a lot of our students for a very competitive job market and a competitive future, but they'll be well prepared, and eventually that'll make our state a heck of a lot stronger. So I thank you, Dr. Douglas, for inviting me to speak, and again, welcome to the town of Enfield. Thank you.
You know, I failed to recognize our honor guard, and so I really want to do this. Olivia Reddick was one of our honor guard members from grade 12. Crystal Reyes was another member of the honor guard, grade 12. Courtney York was honor guard member from grade 10, and Dakota Parker was the young man who was the honor guard representing grade 10. So I just want you to notice, in the honor guard, there was 3 women and 1 man. 21st century belongs to women. Okay? Look around you. The signal is everywhere. I would like to point something out, though, about Dakota. Dakota is a lineman on the CREC CREC football team. And the CREC football team played their first game on this field out here this Saturday, and they won 16-6, so congratulations. Now I would like to introduce the mayor of the town of Enfield, Scott Copen, who's here with us today. And Mayor, I want to thank you so much for your effort in helping us with this school. Thank you.
Thank you, Bruce. Well, good morning, everyone. Dr. Douglas, thank you so much for the invitation to be here this morning to represent the town of Enfield. We truly are a community that has embraced the Public Safety Academy from day one. As a community, as Senator Cassano had mentioned earlier in his remarks, I had the good fortune of working with Steve and still work with him today with the Capital Region Council of Governments. And we've always identified that the emergency services, they're a critical component to the local infrastructure, critical component to state and federal. But here at the local level, we have a hard time recruiting police officers. We have a hard time finding volunteers for our fire departments, because here in Enfield we have 5 fire districts. 4 of them are primarily staffed by volunteers. And we have a new fledgling emergency medical services operation, and we see the turnover there as well. And as you folks all know, it becomes critical to be able to staff these positions going forward, and finding the proper people to hold the positions. And what better way than to introduce the careers at a younger age and start to foster that interest and increase that interest. I recognize at least one of the students is a member of our Police Explorers here in Enfield, and that's hopefully what this school will do through communities across Connecticut, is to begin the involvement at a younger age. And we're so happy for a facility such as this. We know that training is a critical component, and we embrace wholeheartedly the open door policy for the community, for our police department, our fire departments, EMS, to come in and use a facility such as this. And so to CREC, to all of the professionals that are working here day to day, and to the students, we welcome you to the town of Enfield. We know we're going to learn something from you as well. We're building a new high school just down the road. The focus of that high school is science, technology, engineering, arts, mathematics, STEAM. It's underway. Hopefully we'll learn from you and share some war stories back and forth, so that new high school becomes state-of-the-art and addresses the future needs of our students as well. And I then extend the offer to you, Dr. Douglas, and to everyone that's situated here. This school is truly a part of our community, which also means that our schools and our resources should be made available for your folks as well. And that way we really become intertwined as a community. And so never hesitate to ask if you need something. And again, on behalf of the town, there's been a lot of efforts to make this building a reality. We understand, as Representative Alexander mentioned, there's a couple more hurdles, but for people that believe in this form of education, which the town of Enfield does, and we'll come together, we'll resolve those issues, and we'll move forward in the constructive way that we have been in partnership since the first day that the Public Safety Academy opened on Brainerd Road, I believe 4 or 5 years ago. So again, on behalf of the town of Enfield, Dr. Douglas and everyone with CREC, welcome to Enfield, and we look forward to a long-lasting, successful, productive relationship as good neighbors. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor Copen. Much appreciated. I know that we'll have a good time together. I also want to recognize the Superintendent of Schools from Enfield. Jeff Schuman is here with us today. Jeff, welcome. Thank you so much for coming. Jeff told me that he's very pleased that the school is constructed here because he's able to run on the track every morning. So, Jeff, as you will, anytime. Okay, and we have an outstanding training facility in here too. You'll notice that many of the teachers here might be in better shape than the students over the course of the year. So now I would like to introduce Adam Johnson. Adam is the interim principal of this school. We're working very hard nationwide to find an outstanding principal who's befitting of this school. So if any of you have any great colleagues, okay, or anybody who you know who's an outstanding leader, okay, and who can lead this school in a great direction for a long time to come, please share that information with us so that we can recruit that person. So we have with us today Adam Johnson, who's the interim principal of this school, and Adam is going to make our closing remarks. Adam, would you come up, please? Adam is speaking on behalf of Dina Kroll, who's the superintendent of the CREC schools. Dina had some minor surgery and has a little bit of a sore throat, so Adam's going to speak on her behalf. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. It is terribly, terribly fun to work here every day. Not just because of this astounding building, although that is pretty great, but because of the tremendous teachers and, most importantly, the tremendous students. We come together around this theme. We get engaged and very passionate about the topics that we study in our classes each day, and it is just terribly, terribly fun. I feel guilty having as much fun working here as I am, but it's a great thing. Just a couple of formal words to close us out today, and thanks everyone for coming. I want everyone to know this new building reflects CREC's vision of creating a building that is worthy of educating each and every one of the students here. The innovative design of this school will enhance teaching and learning and encourage exploration, critical thinking, and problem solving. This building and these opportunities for students have not come without tremendous hard work and commitment by a lot of people, from the architects to the builders to the staff and students to the custodians who helped to prepare for this day. I thank every single one of you, and I mean that. Thank you very much. As we all look around today at the thought, the craftsmanship, and the creativity that went into the design and build of this building, I ask that we all experience a moment of gratitude for all that we are able to accomplish on behalf of children as a result of this school. So can we take that moment of gratitude now? I also want to take a moment to give a special thank you to our school community for their continued commitment to make this a very special place. You all have worked tirelessly in sharing your vision, making our temporary space a home, and now making this beautiful building into an inviting place for us all to enjoy and work in and learn in each day. Thank you all for being here today and to help us celebrate our forever home. We look forward to a successful school year and a first year of wonderful memories. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for being here. Are we now, we're now going to bring the honor guard up here.